What's up, YouTube? Today we're talking about the most underrated Azucena moves. These are great to mix up your flowcharts and great for beginners and intermediate, even all the way up to advanced, depending on what you do know and what you don't know still at this point. These are moves I like to use in my flowcharts to help condition the opponents one way and take a complete opposite turn so they don't know all my mix-ups and 50-50s. So let's go ahead and jump into it, and of course, comment what you like most. Of course, comment your experience with these moves, and then also what you did learn today or what you have already known. I appreciate you so much, man. Let's get it. Her down forward 1-4 right here. It's safe if you just do that, but the thing is with her in your mix-ups and your flowcharts, doing down forward 1-4-1 is that it kind of hits just like that. Technically it doesn't look like that, but it's more of a punish situation, but it is not safe on block. So if you do this, your opponent will start to block that, and you can condition them while you're doing that a lot. And then you could also go overhead, also her overhead. So those are two ways, but on block, those are not safe. And in between is a gap. So they can start poking, jabbing, and possibly get a full string on you on that situation. So instead, I like to do her cancel. So this is one of my favorite ones right here that I feel is very underrated. It gets you in stance real quick. So you'll do down forward 1-4-1, but you also hold forward. I just keep tapping forward. And it kind of gets you into this stance right here, and it gets you into everything, and it cancels it. So instead of looking like this, you can actually go and it cancels it. And I love that right here because this helps out in a lot of variations now, especially if you know all of her stance moves. If you don't know her stance moves, comment. I could possibly help you out with some of that stuff too. So while she's in stance, you have a lot of things, right? You can get into a string. You could get into when she's canceled, you can automatically go low to make up for like her health sweep, basically. It gets you into faster instead of just having to hit low all day. Also, you can like bait. You can bait a lot. So as soon as you're in there, because usually in stance, if she shows it off a lot. But if you do this and you cancel it as fast as you can and somebody wants to punish that, especially if you condition them with doing the down forward 1-4, if you condition that so much, even if they keep blocking and like kind of jabbing, poking at it, now you're canceling it, and now you can go low and mix them up, right? Again, Azucena is very risky, so it depends on what kind of player you are, on how you want to play Azucena. She can be very risky and fun, like big, high risk, high reward, or you can play her very safe. So it just depends on how you play. You get directly into stance, and you're just here. So it's really dope. How you want to just act from stance is kind of just up to you at that point, right? But one of my favorite ones, that's just to start off with. Y'all gotta let me know your favorite. You can go like the stance, you can cancel it, you can go to launch. So however you want, just let me know what you're doing while you're in stance, and that's kind of how you can get into it a lot faster. If you don't know how, you can just press forward 3-4, and that kind of just always gets you in stance, right? But this is just a cooler way to bait your opponent. I love it because I just do that. I can just get in. I can start just really mixing it up, really getting chip damage off people. All right, next is going to be her forward 4-4 cancel. So that's something that I really love. So this right here is a heat engager. But if you do this, instead of getting the heat engager going, what you can do instead is that I like to cancel it instead and just press A instead. So pressing 4-4-4, I mean 3, my bad, not A. I'm on Xbox. So you can press forward and then hit A. That's one variation of it. You can cancel that also and hit 2, and that's a full punish. And that one's really, really cool to use, especially if you bait your opponent on this so much. People already know stuff like boom, boom, boom. See right there, people already know that. So if you're doing a heat engager, you can just cancel it and just press 2 instead, and it just kind of punishes, you know what I mean? Let's see if I could get like a combo out of it. Yeah, there you go. You just do whatever you want after that. So it's very, very monumental to her cancels. Again, if you just do the forward 4-4, then you could get a full heat engager. But if you already ran out of heat engager or something, you could always just bait it, and you can just go into. It makes them hesitate a little bit and want to punish you like while you're mid, and you can just cancel it. Boom. So that's one of my favorite ones. Now, again, these are not really deemed safe. That's not really. But it can help out with just mixing up your flowchart a little bit. One of my favorites. Man, this is one of my favorite ones. We're going with another cancel. So her while rising 4-1-3 is something that's beautiful. So when you while rise, you kind of just do that. But instead you can cancel that. But this can be very risky. A lot of high level people use this. So you can go, so how it looks fully, boom, boom, boom. And then like while rising, boom, boom, and you hold back, and it kind of just does, you can just change it to whatever you want. So Now you're in stance already. Wall rise, boom, 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 cancel it. Then you can go into 3-3. You know, it's something where the game slows down. I think this move does help. Again, you got to just really study your opponent on what they're doing. You get plenty of rounds in Tekken to like try to figure out your opponent. If they're kind of a pressure character, it might not be the smartest decision to do. But if they're just kind of tactical, man, maybe you could like trick them up a little bit and they'll be like, oh snap, boom, you know what I mean? Oh, you could always just get something out of it, and it looks super swaggy when she does it, and you see it, you could be like oh, see, you get something like that. So there's a lot of swaggy stuff. Like that cancel is super swaggy, and you can just figure out what you want from there. You just try it out, man, and have fun with it. It's a Wild Rising 413 cancel. You hold back to cancel it. One more time, you just Wild Rise, boom, boom, hold back to cancel it. That's just up to you. There's a lot of variations you can do from it. All right, next, my favorite one also is like if you're playing a footsie battle, you call it the footsie battles, whenever you're just kind of poking away, you're doing like some chip damages. She has both lows. You're trying to figure out your opponent. So I like to do stuff like that. So like if you feel like you can't poke enough, or the jab reaches far though, see? But if you want a different variation of a poke, you can just kind of poke and then boom, she's already in stance. Now, if you know how to work those stances as fast as you can, that's the thing about Azucena, like mastering her, is like if you could find that stance as quick as you can, and you know exactly that you're in stance, like if you can find the reaction, you know what I mean? Boom, you already know you're in stance, you can just go right in. You already know, like, you know you're in stance is like, so as soon as you can find her stance. So right here, it's a 4-3, and it kind of puts you in it already. So I think that's a cancel move that kind of is underrated, because everybody's usually trying to like get into stance, or of course everybody's hitting 1-1 stance. But if you can cancel the stance, you can find different pokes. That helps out a lot too. So now you have your 1-1 to get into stance. Then you also have your cancel that I taught earlier. You're also in stance, so you can just kind of press 4-3-4. Boom. And then one of my favorite ones, especially during chippy battles, if you're just kind of looking around, you're kind of moving, you just kind of poke in, now you're already in stance. And that helps a lot, because if they're already kind of conditioned to think low, and you're going low, and you kind of poke, you can just go full launch on it. And yeah, so how you do that is just kind of up to you. But that's one of my favorite ones. The poke into a stance is huge, because now you're not being too obvious with it. You're kind of just poking away. Now you're in stance, because they might want to play a footsie battle back with you. But yeah, a lot of that really does just determine on who you're facing. You got to always read your opponents and know what they're doing. When you can notice when opponents start getting desperate. Either they're down 2-0 and they're trying to come back, or they're up 2-0 and they're trying to end it. They're tired and exhausted from rank. So if they try to attack you, you can just sidestep and you just launch. Her super launch is hilarious. This is a massively risky move though. A lot of these moves on here are risky. So her sidestep launch is one of my favorite ones. I've caught in so many clips with this, and even at the higher levels of like Bluish, Tekken Kings, it's just if you condition your opponent, like say if you're always going into like one of these punches, you're going into these, but then now you're sidestep. It's just like any other sidestep launch. You can technically just do like your average one, but it's just hilarious as shit to me when I do that. So that's one of my favorite. That gives you a free launch, and that down back, it's gonna be 1 and 2. So you're gonna sidestep, down back, 1-2, and that's just the most hilarious thing ever. So that's just up to you. That's one of my favorite ones. Definitely look into that if you want like a full combo. I always just sidestep launch and I troll and I just get right into it. You know what I mean? You just kind of do. You know what I mean? One of my favorite ones, or you can just sidestep launch, get into any combo that you want. So it's just up to you. Again, it's up to you. It's up to you. Up to you on how you want to control it. But sidestep launch is huge for her. It's just a funny ass move if you want to keep it soft, so you keep it fun. Next thing is her backswing kick. Her backswing is like, these are a little bit more common. Obviously the sidestep and the backswing, but this backswing is still, I feel like, not used enough. I see pros use it a lot, of course, but it is very unsafe though. You got to know how far it actually does go. But the backswing is crazy. It's down back, and then 3 and 4. So this is huge if like somebody's rushing you, they keep pressuring you, and you're playing defensive. Like say you're a Korean backdashing a lot, you know what I mean? Or they just know you're blocking, you're in neutral, you're just kind of blocking, you're trying to play tactical. They're gonna keep pressuring you, keep trying to frame trap you. this tricks them like you're still trying to, like, say if I'm like backing up and I'm trying to move around, it tricks them like you're gonna step back one more time, but instead she goes full swing. And I think that helps in playing almost full screen again, playing back to neutral, and that helps out a lot, you know what I mean? That helps you a lot with like stuff like that, like you're running 3-2 set up again, because your running 3-2 is nerfed now. So if you don't hit it, it whiffs. So you need to find things to really put you back, and you could bait a lot more stuff, you know what I mean? So that, I don't know why not use too much, but it is a great component. I also use it as a combo 2 variation. So like if I'm right here, if I still want to keep my heat, I definitely do stuff like that. Her backswing is dope. So down back 3 and 4. This right here is her back stance. I want to just go over like her back stance real quick. It's not anything really spectacular, but you can just go down back and you just go boom, boom. So what that is that you can kind of go hit, boom. And it also helps with the continuation. So any of her back stance stuff is pretty cool if you can actually land it. Yeah, so it's down back 3, and I just kind of like troll around, hit back A, or hit back 3, my bad. I just hit back 3. And then I just kind of flip, and I just, you know what I mean? It's just fun stuff, you know, going to her listo. Anything you can do with her back stance is pretty much underrated, in my opinion. It is very difficult and very risky, but if you're somebody who just wants to make the game super fun for you, then hell yeah, go all in for it. Have fun with it. You know what I mean? Have fun with it. Have fun. Boom, boom. And it's just mad hilarious. Yeah, so it's something fun. Work on the back stance. I like to do down back 3 and just kind of get into there already. Or you can just cancel it and go into their stance. Up to you. Still fun though. This is definitely underrated. If you're somebody like me who likes to play around, it's just mad underrated. Because like you can do it twice and the opponent will kind of wait sometimes. They're like, what the fuck is she doing? Because like I like to troll a lot at times. So it is risky though. I get punished a lot for it at times. But it is underrated for sure. It's hilarious. Yeah, it's funny. And also her heat burst stance. Now this is actually a very long aspect of it, but if you're in heat burst and you go forward in 4-3-4 the stance right here, if you go heat burst, you go 4-3-4. If you're walking, you can see that the heat burst still keeps going as long as you're in stance, even if you're doing it the other way, right? So say if I do this, like the heat burst still goes. If you're in stance, this does auto parries, and then also like the combo variation is one of my favorites. So when I go into here, all you gotta do, boom, you can do that. You can go forward 1-2, and you're allowed to do it multiple times. So you can go boom, forward 1-2, and you can go forward 1-2. And even on block, like let's set it up, like let's set up the character to actually block, right? Oh my bad. Let's set up to like the practice setting, let's set him up, opponent's action to standing block, right? So if I do this, so if I do that and I'm in heat burst, I can go into stance, and then I go 1-2, and then I go 1-2, and then I still can keep going. So she gives you 2 tries to go at it. Or if you notice they're just gonna block like massively in heat burst, like this is so underrated, this heat burst, bro. When you go, you can go 1, you can just go low again. Now it doesn't fully stay on all day, so like I would try to like heat burst it, go in 1-2, and then maybe you can go boom boom, and you can just like run, and then you can probably catch it on time. Now that's a full rush pressure, but usually not the smartest thing to do. But I would say the smart thing to do is this and just staying in stance. So if I did full combo, right, so I go boom into stance, 1-2, 1-2. She's now in stance, and boom. See? So that's pretty cool on that. It's so many variations of that, but use that heat burst and run in stance. Like, just get in there. When you're on heat, kind of time it. Don't do it immediately. Everybody expects everybody to, like, as soon as they turn the heat, to start spamming it. Don't spam it immediately. You know, maybe you can go cancel it a little bit, or if you string it, combo it, and then just kind of stay in for a little while. But yeah, it's up to you on how you do it. It's definitely underrated though. If you do the low and continue her stance, you can go right back in, and then you can go right back. You know what I mean? So there's just so many things to do. But yeah, those are some of the most underrated Azucena moves in my opinion. Again, some of them were fairly reasonable that people already know, just don't use enough, I would say. Some of these can be deemed as unsafe, so it depends on how you play. I take risk a lot on my 50-50s. I'm going into my blue ranks pretty soon, so I already knew kind of what's unsafe and all that. But if you just want to have fun, she has a lot of fun moves, especially since like the running 3-2 is now officially nerfed. Like if you whiff it, like you don't get anything after that. So yeah, if it's nerfed, man, just kind of do you, man. So yeah, I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all make sure y'all have a good one and hit us up, man. Let us know your thoughts, man. Peace.